See derivatives. We'll start with currency derivatives, a very important topic. We'll merge currency and the derivatives topic. In the case of shares, the problem was not much. For example, when we say the Reliance you can do, for example, Reliance RIL, F plus you do at 1500 rupees, it becomes, that means you're betting on the Reliance share, you will buy or sell any one of the items you're doing it out. You will buy one party, selling it out. Problem in the currency which comes out, or the initial problem which works here is, let's suppose $1 is 70. I'm assuming $1 is 70. Betting can be done on the dollar, betting can be done on the rupees. You can do F plus on dollar, you can do F minus on dollar, you can do F plus on rupee, F minus on rupee, or call or put options can be taken on both of them. That means both can become a commodity, both can become a price. Our first target would be, how do we identify what is a price and a commodity? By looking at a question. Second is, no matter which way data is being given to us, question would give us the hint that we have to do option futures, we have to take a hint between the options and futures. Then after once you decide option and futures, whether should I go for call option, put option, the data automatically would help me out. Before I move into the topic itself, I'll draw a summary chart of the topic itself. If we can remember this chart, no need to remember anything else. Although while moving forward, I'll take small examples and then the questions to understand how exactly the flow of the topic would take place. But the problem has to be there, please understand. We can do betting on the dollar, we can do betting on the rupee. Rupee can be bought, rupee can be sold, dollar can be bought, dollar can be sold. So there remains a challenge in this particular point of a time. You have to identify by looking at the data which question to, on which question we have to, which currency we have to do betting, and which currency has to be a price in that part which comes out. Let's put down a small chart before I do the formal discussion of the topic. There are two parties, exporter and importer. We'll draw the chart again. Exporter in the currency we would have done, and second is importer. Tell me the nomenclature of exporter and importer. Exporter will receive foreign currency, will sell foreign currency. Need foreign currency, will buy foreign currency. This is the basic nomenclature we have. Now if I try to make below that again further part, I can assume foreign currency as dollar, home currency as rupee, this is for exporter, foreign currency as dollar, home currency as rupee for importer, the futures contract, and options contract. Futures and options. Exporter, I have taken two parts here. Below exporter, foreign and home currency. Below importer, foreign and home currency. Exporter will receive what? Foreign currency. Will buy or sell? Sell. Selling is what kind of contract? F plus, F minus? F plus or F minus? F minus. That means we'll go for futures F minus here. F minus. Understand the basic nomenclature, please. If I'm able to make a basic part of it, I can fill up the rest of the chart completely. Futures, the basic nomenclature of the exporter is to receive foreign currency, and once he receives foreign currency, his objective is to sell foreign currency. Selling contracted F minus, that comes out F minus. The importer, basic nomenclature is to buy what? Foreign currency. Buying of foreign currency would be F plus. If the question specifies me exactly what I'm looking for, If exporter, he gives the contract can be given in any currency. We are trying to make sure that what currency he gives the contract and what I want it. If the contract is available in the foreign currency, then my objective in the foreign currency, the case of the exporter, is sell. I should go for F minus contract. How do we justify that? I'll take a small number after this. If it's a case of an importer, I need to buy foreign currency, it means I have to go for F plus. By chance question says the contracts are not available in the dollars. Contracts are not available in the dollars, contracts are available in the rupee term. If you are doing selling of one currency, would mean buying of the second currency automatically to go for F plus. I'm saying it again, the objective was selling of this currency. If selling of this currency contract is not available, automatically second currency will go for the buy contract. Similarly, importer needs to buy this. If by chance question says contract is not available in dollar, contract is not available in dollar but in second currency, buying of this currency would mean as good as selling of the second currency. So you have to be appropriately take a call which type of a currency contract is being given, and my basic rule was which currency I should have bought and sold. In case of this, my objective was selling of foreign currency, contract available, very good. If the contract is not available, second currency, I'll go for the plus sign. In case of an importer, I should have purchased this foreign currency, contract available, very good. If the contract is given in second currency, buying over this currency would mean selling of this currency. Similarly, option market, when I go, option market, exporter, original contract is to what? Sell. Sell is a put or a call option? Put option. Put option, or in fact, if you want to learn it roughly, you can learn roughly. The problem of the exporter is the price falling, dollar price falling. If, for example, $1 is today 70, his fear would be $1 might become what? 60, 69, 65, 60s. That is the fear which comes out. And price falling, which option saves you? Price falling is put. That means if case of an option market, he would go for put option. And in the case of an importer, his fear is price increasing. He wants to buy the dollar. He should buying is call option, put option, call option, C plus. Understand a basic nomenclature of exporter is F minus or P plus. Basic nomenclature of an importer on the foreign currency is F plus and C plus. Second part, what I'm doing is not the basic rule. It's basically selling of one currency automatically becomes buying of the second currency. Buying of a one currency automatically becomes selling of the second currency. I have to carefully look at the contracts which are given in which type of a currency, and then I can make my answer accordingly. In the case of option, it's a put option of a foreign currency. Either you can do one thing, you can say, I'll come and sell the dollars. Instead of that, you can also say, selling of dollars is as good as buying of a rupee. Instead of saying that language, I'll sell dollars, I can say, I'll come and what? Buy rupees. That means if the contract is available in rupee terms, it will be a C plus. You can, in the case of an importer, he'll go to the market and say, I want to come and buy dollars. Buying is C plus. He said, I want to buy dollar. But the market says, we do not take any contracts of the dollar. Tell me the contract in the rupee terms. The buying of one currency is as good as selling of second currency. My nomenclature which I have to remember is only F minus P plus. If I can remember these terms, F plus and C plus, automatically second part would be remembered. Second part would be very easy to remember. Logically, I'll do in one of the parts. Otherwise, exam perspective, leave apart the logic aside. Buying of, for example, when you go from home, you say, I want to buy dollar. It is as good as you're going and selling rupees. Buying of a dollar is selling of a rupee. If, for example, you go, I'm exporter and I'll come and sell the dollars. Selling of a dollar is as good as a buying of rupee. Remember the first nomenclature of it. With foreign currency, he would have done what? If the contract is available in that foreign currency, well and good. If the contract is not available in that foreign currency, then second currency automatically becomes reverse. That means F plus of 1 will become F minus of second. P plus of 1 will become C plus of the second part which comes out. Copy the chart, please. Copy the chart. Remember the originality of the exporter and originality of the importer. Second currency automatically we can make. Remember that originality. Second part we can easily remember. And do not forget your basic rule. The F minus gives you profit when price falls, and F plus gives you profit when price increases. Since both are currencies, there could be a problem. Whatever will keep on left hand side, that will be a commodity or the shares. I can assume that as a share and a commodity and then take my call accordingly. Right hand side would be price. What to make a commodity or what to make a share in the case of both the currencies, that we'll see when we look at the questions. I'll take a small example with that. Let's put on a small example. Importer needs $1 lakh. Importer needs $1 lakh. Two options are available with him. He can go for F plus on $1 at 62. That means future market. He needs to buy dollar and contract is available on dollar. He can go for F plus on $1 at 62. He can go for C plus on $1 at 62. I am ignoring the option premium for the timing. Importer needs $1 lakh. Two options he has availability. He can enter into a futures contract. Since he is an importer, he needs to buy. It has to be F plus. Since he is an importer, if call option has to be there, it will be a C plus. C plus. And it assuming 3 months contract is there. After 3 months, first I'll take the futures market. After 3 months, rate can become any one of them in the futures market. After 3 months, rate can become any one of them in the market. Either $1 will become, let's suppose, 5050. $1 stays at 62. $1 becomes 70. $1.50, $1.62, $1 becomes 70. I'm assuming a futures market. Now left hand side do not read as a currency. Left hand side do not read as a currency. This becomes a share. One share you said you'll buy at what rate? 62. One share you'll buy at 62. You will get benefit and price is rupees. One share you said you'll buy at rupees 62. If the price increases, you will got gain. Otherwise, it will not lapse. If the price increases, futures position. If the price increases, your F plus. If the price increases, future can have only one thing. If your F plus and price increases, I'm saying leave apart currency. The moment you'll think currency, there is a problem. I'm simply asking if you are F plus on any contract and the price increases. Gain. Where is the second thought? Where is the second thought you have? And do not look at currency. Currency leave apart. Dollar leave apart, please. What is happening? Dollar. You said you'll buy the dollar. You said you buy share. Leave apart one. One becomes a commodity now. You'll buy that share at what rupees? 62. If the price becomes what? Increases, gain or loss? It has to be gain. Leave apart dollar. What is dollar on the left or right, etc. Once we have freezed this part out, once this part is freezed, it becomes a commodity. Right hand side is a price. Now the price becomes rupees 50. Gain or loss? Loss. In this case, no gain, no loss. If the price becomes 70, it's a gain. Settlement of futures. Let's put down here. Settlement of futures. Settlement of futures. This is happening in the futures market. First will give me loss. Nothing would come. Future market will give me gain. Loss will be, I said I'll buy at 50, price became, I said I'll buy at 62, price became what? 50. 62, price became 50, how much? How much? minus 12, minus 12. In this case, 0. In this case, gain is how much? 8. 8 rupees comes out the gain. This is a future market. Future market is not same as a cash market. It's a futures market. It is not same as a cash market. Now, since you were an importer, settlement in the future market happens what? Cash settlement or delivery will take place in the futures market? Cash settlement. That means in this case, you'll incur a loss of 12. In this case, you'll get what? Gain of 8. The future market is over now. Then since you were an importer, you'll go to which market and buy dollars? Actual market you will buy. Actual buying of a dollar. When I say actual dollars bought, actual dollars bought, what is the rate in the market? 50. Your cost will come out what? 50. In this case, rate in the market is what? 62. Your costing would be 62. In this case, rate is what? 70. Your costing would come what? 70. Now try to analyze in all three cases, no matter what the rate becomes, your rate freezed at 62. Your rate freezed at 62. Understand the objective of the derivative. Derivative is a hedging contract that has made sure that if the contract promised you that I will give you the dollar at 62, in case by chance the rate increases, extra amount is compensated by the futures market here. My net costing will freeze at 62. This is settlement of futures. This is futures market I have. This is settlement of futures. This is when I went to the cash market to buy, actually it was 50 rupees. This was 62 and this was what? 70 rupees. It was actually buying of the dollars. Now in the third case, my fear was rate goes up, rate went up. But even though rate went up 70, the compensation has been done by what? Futures market. Understand the objective of the derivatives. Derivative objective is whatever rate you freeze in the futures, your costing will freeze at that. Futures market made sure that if the rate increases beyond 62, I would compensate you. If the rate is below that, then whatever is the amount difference you pay me, your net costing would be 62. That means the person or a trader or an importer, he knows his maximum cost will come at 62. I'm ignoring the margin and etc. That concepts I'm ignoring here. That means your cost has freezed at 62. In the case of an option market, again, I've taken which type of option? Call option. At what rate? 62. I've taken a call option at 62. When will call option gives a benefit? Price increases. Now, same three case, let me take out. Same three case. First case option would? Option would? Second case? Indifferent. Third case? Excise. How much gain? 8. Holder will have a gain of 8. Now that is the option market. First case will lapse because the rate was 62 and rate became what in the market? 50. Option would lapse. Second case it's a indifferent. Third case gain. Gain of how much rupees? 8 rupees comes in. Now when I go to the market and buys out, my costing again comes what? 50, 62 and 70. In the last case, 70 rupees is my outflow. 8 rupees compensated by the option market. My net cost will come as what? 62. First case, my net cost will come as 50. Option market saves you something. Option market, in the future market, it will be either future will give you gain or loss. Your net will freeze at what? 62. In the option market, you will be protected from the upside. You'll be protected from the upside, and downside you are able to enjoy that out. What comes out as a 50 which comes out. Then why would someone go for the future, sir, in case option gives me a benefit on the lower side also? Then why would someone go for the option market? When future says I'll freeze your rate at 62, option says I'll freeze your rate at maximum of 62. Your rate would be maximum of 62. Then why would someone go for the option market? You know why option market, or why would someone go for the futures market? When option market gives me a lower side benefit also, and higher side it freezes the 62. Because of premium cost involved. The options have a premium cost involved. Futures does not have that kind of a costing which is involved. Because of that reason, the people do not prefer go for the options, because a fixed cost of the option premium is being paid. In the option market, one thing is for sure, if 62 is my C plus, then maximum would be 62. Maximum. Lower can be anything which you can enjoy. Because if the market rate became 50, option contract becomes lapse, and you can buy that at 50 rupees. If the market rate became 70, the same case I'm taking here, if that rate became 70, in that case, option market will compensate you how much? 8 rupees. 70 you buy, net costing comes at 62. Whereas in the futures market, No matter what happens, upside and downside. If it's a loss in the cash market, futures compensates you. If there is a gain in the cash market, future will take away that gain and your net costing will freeze at what? 62. That comes out. Copy that part. If you've copied, let me know. We'll do the options. I'll do the similar exercise for the options. Understand the objective of the framework. This is the reason of doing a derivative. Derivative should have been a hedging contract. Derivative should have been a hedging contract. It saves you from something. After 3 months, now this was the futures, I'll take the options. Exactly on similar parameter. After 3 months, after 3 months, $1.50. It's a call option, and please remember, left side do not read currency, although in mind you know it's a currency. It's a share. One share you have taken the right to buy at 62 rupees. So right becomes a price, left hand side becomes a commodity and a share. Life will become very, very easy to remember that out. Now settlement of call option. If I settle the call option would be exercised when price increases. Will lapse in what case? First case lapse. Second case is what? Indifferent. Third case exercise. And if I try to put the numbers here, it will be how much? 0. It's a lapse. In this case nothing. In this case profit comes what? 8. And then you go and buy which market? Actual dollars. Actual dollars you buy. It will be 50 costing. It will be what? 62. This will be 70. This will be 70, which comes out. Thank you, Raju. This will come out as 70. My net costing in the case of the option market freezes at what? My maximum cost in the option market freezes at what? 62. 62. And I am able to enjoy the lower side. I am able to enjoy the lower side. Whereas in the futures, my maximum cost was freezed at what? 62. Understand now the wordings. In the words, how would I have read? Importer wanted to buy, and he wanted to buy, that means F plus on dollar or C plus on the dollar, any one of them. Whatever raise futures market and option market gives them, whatever rate future market and option market gives them, that becomes their maximum rate. In the future, upside, downside, both will make sure that his rate is freezed at a certain 62. In the option market, his maximum is freezed, lower is not. The objective of taking futures maybe because option involves a premium cost. There would be a slight deviation from this concept, which we'll do when we do the practicals part out. When we do the practicals, although rest would remain same. Reason being, sir, would the answer come exactly same? 99% would come exactly same. 1% chance would be a different, which I'll tell you, the question which has been framed by the institute and will come to know very easily. One thing is for sure, I hope you know, future market is different from which market? Cash market or option market. Derivative market is different from the cash market. And the rates in the future markets are different from the cash market till the time expiry is not there. For example, today's last Thursday, on expiry, everything would become same at 3:30. Everything would become same. Tomorrow onwards, new contracts will start opening up. So it has to be very clear cut understood that in the case till the time, there is still time left to the 3:30. It means since time is left, future, and that will be difference of maybe a 10 paisa, maybe a 15 paisa because of a timing difference which comes out. But on expiry, both will become same. What we have assumed, both are same. Settlement of the futures will take place in the futures. Settlement of the cash will take place in the cash market. First basic rule was this. Left hand side, please in mind, do not read that at currency, else will be in a problem for sure. Left is a share, left is a commodity, right is a price. That's it. Future rule will be comfortable. F plus upside profit, downside loss. F minus downside profit, upside loss. Call option exercise when price goes up, put option exercise when price goes down. Second rule which we have to remember is this. If you remember this chart, I'm saying no matter how complicated, which type of a question comes in exam, I would be able to do it. Exporter basic nomenclature. Receive. Selling of a foreign currency or buying of foreign currency? Selling. I can remember selling is F minus or P plus. Put F minus P plus. Rest I can make here. Importer basic nomenclature. Buy. Buying of a foreign currency. Buying is F plus C plus. And if I logically would have seen, it is exactly same. In the previous case, importer fear is he's buying a foreign currency because he want to freeze that rate. His fear is the rate going up. That's why he takes a F plus. Sir, why he took a F plus? You can understand logically. If he would not have taken F plus in this case, if he would not have taken place, his costing would have come what? If he would not have taken F plus, his costing would have been 70. F plus gave him some extra amount from the futures. Future market said, take 8 rupees from me, 62 I promised you, 70 will buy, 8 I am compensating, your net cost will freeze at what? 62. That is the objective of it. This objective, learn it, leave it here only. Exam purpose, it's simply F minus P plus. Second currency I can make automatically. And the importer is F plus C plus. Second currency I would make accordingly. Second important